Now this S5 came with absolutely no service history. So before I get into doing any modifications to this car or any cleaning or anything like that, the first thing I'm going to do is service it. And actually before that, I'm going to use the Carly device. Now obviously I've used this in a bunch of videos before. I don't really have to explain what it does. Well, I don't really have to go through a full thorough thing of what it does. You guys could probably watch some of the old videos in the top right hand corner now. But basically I'm going to plug this in now and I'm just going to see what sort of fault codes it's came or what historic fault codes have been on there, whether any airbags have gone off, because obviously this was crashed, and hopefully we'll find out later in the video where the damage was to the car. So I'm going to plug this in now and we're going to have a little search and I'm going to have a little look through driving data. So so it's also showing me here, look, front crashes from airbags. So it has had an airbag go off, which is quite worrying, but we will be changing the steering wheel anyway. But it could have been a curtain airbag, it could have been anything, but anything else, it's got rear crashes, nothing, driver crashes, nothing, passenger crashes, rollover crashes, nothing. So it's just showing that one airbag went off. Quite worrying, but this steering wheel definitely will be changing because I don't like it anyway. Now before I do anything, before we get modifying, before we get changing all the parts, we've got to service this thing. I mean, from start up it's a little bit lumpy. I'm maybe suspecting it could be a carbon build up, but we're probably going to have to do that in future. But right now we're going to do oil and filter change, cabin filter as well. I have ordered spark plugs but they're not here yet, but I will change them probably towards the end of the video if they arrive on time. So let's get this thing in the air and let's have a look, see if we can find where that oil leak is coming from as well. I may have found the first problem. You listen to this play. That is the front and rear lower arms, and maybe these upper ones as well. These upper ones are a nightmare to remove because this pinch bolt here seizes in, because this is alloy and it's a steel bolt and it just rusts together. Now the actual boots look okay. I'm just going to give that a bit of a clean up, but I suspect and I hope that it is the lower arms because they are a lot easier to remove. This is the lower front arm bush and I think that is really worn, and this is the lower rear arm with a bush at the back of the car. So I almost suspect that it's going to be the same on the other side. Yeah, it's the same on this side, but I wouldn't change the one arm bushes on one side without doing the other on the other. It just doesn't make sense. This wheel is absolutely battered. I don't think I'll be keeping these wheels. I can see the tyre ain't that great either. And also guys, if you're new to the channel, click subscribe if you're enjoying this little S5 project. I know it's not the most entertaining stuff at the minute, we're just maintaining, we're not modifying, but if you guys like a bit of both, hit subscribe. After cleaning this all up, I'd almost go to say that these are have been replaced. They don't look as old as these bottom arms here. Like the boots look in good condition, so I'm gonna say that these are okay. It's just these bottom arms here that need doing. And also I found this, whether something got run over or that was the tyre when there was an accident, or I'm not too sure, but we're taking guessing games at the minute. Now this looks, the sump pan looks quite wet, so I'm going to clean all this up and see if I can find where the leak is coming from. Now it's only a tiny leak. I did put some cardboard down, I couldn't really see anything, but I'm going to try and find, it could even be coming out from the sump bung there, but we're going to drain the oil today anyway. It is nice and clean. Again, it's absolutely filthy under here. It needs a massive clean up, but all we're worrying about today is getting this serviced and getting it running right. So, first thing, let's get the oil filter off. Big spanner. Here's the old filter. Definitely due a change that. Takes 8.5 litres of oil. I'm going to put the sunbump back in, and then I'm going to fill up the oil. We've got to change the air filter as well. Now I'm going to upgrade the air filter, but I'll show you in a minute. Now there's going to be a few people already in the comments saying, oh, it's Castrol only, you need to use Castrol. Well, I'm using 5W30 fully synthetic. I change the oil every 5 to 10,000 miles anyway. Yeah, okay, the oil grade's probably a little bit better, but if I'm changing it every 5,000 miles or so, I think the Castrol is recommended by Audi for people who buy these cars and they're just garage queens, and you know, they have no idea how to service them or anything like that. They keep the oil in them for like a year, or they do like flipping 15,000 miles in them or something like that. They never change them. Now I change them pretty much 5 to 10,000 miles, so get out my comment section. Let's get on with removing the air filter, which is a shame because we need to remove the air filter to change the spark plugs, so we're going to have to do this all over again when we change the spark plugs, but we're going to do it anyway. So, here's the new air filter, which nearly came out the bottom of the box. So yes, this is K&N filter. It's going to directly replace it, much better than a paper air filter. Let's put this all back in and connect it all back on. Hey guys, so the spark plugs have turned up. Now apparently these don't need gapping because they're platinum and you damage them if you gap them. I can already hear a lot of you in the comments saying, oh, you need to gap them to this, gap them to that, but I don't think they need gapping. So I'm going to go ahead and start fitting these. But before we fit these, a lot of you guys were wondering, have we fixed the door on the passenger side? You know, the one that didn't unlock? Well, I did, and I'm going to clip to that just now, which I did a few days ago. So clip to me fixing the door now. So this passenger door does not open with the key. So if I unlock it, nothing happens. Even when I press the button inside the car, it will not open. But once it has been opened, it will open and close all day long. Now this is meant to be a problem with the little micro switch inside the door. I think I've ordered the right part. I don't know. It was £12 off eBay. Is it going to work? I don't know. We're about to find out. So this is the part, and it goes inside the door just there. Now I think this is the problem. It's quite a common problem. It also happens on the Audi TTs as well. Just going to start removing the trims and get to it. Sounds like it's doing something, so that would suggest to me that it works. Okay, let's put it back together. Will it open? Yes. Fixed. So then, doors fixed. Time to fit these spark plugs. It's going to be incredibly annoying because I've got to take the airbox off and everything to get to it, but I'm going to start on this side and I've got to take the expansion tank out, and so I can get to the coil pack to remove them to get the spark plugs out. Then we'll move on to that side. So I'm just going to do a huge time lapse of everything. Don't want to make it boring and explain everything bit by bit because some of you are probably not interested. Okay, let's go. So, as you can see, this is pretty carboned up. Nothing too out of the ordinary, I don't think, but definitely replacing them is going to make a huge difference. We're replacing them with exactly the same things. I ain't going to cheap out on spark plugs. So it's sort of the nervous sort of time after starting it, after oil change, spark plugs and filter. Fingers crossed. I don't know why I get nervous about this. Should have confidence in myself. That is certainly sounding a lot better on tickover. I don't really know, sometimes this microphone it sounds horrendous cars on tickover, I don't know why, but it sounded a lot nicer. Before it used to sometimes skip a little beat the odd time, like a little bit of a but there's a reason why the car is still on axle stands. Number one, all those suspension parts and everything have came, and number two, which you'll see in the next video, I've actually just upgraded the front brakes. They needed doing, but there's a slight problem with them, so you're going to see that in the next video. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Obviously we've got the brake upgrade to come in the next video, and we're going to fit the suspension arms, I think, and then we're getting on to sort of modifying. There's a few little bits and bobs to do, but we're going to be sort of modifying and upgrading the parts as we go throughout the series. But hopefully you've enjoyed sort of the first video of the S5. If you came on this video and not watched the previous video, click in the top right corner now. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who watched the last video and have clicked subscribe on there as well. This project is costing a lot of money, so the least you guys can do is hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up. That's a free way of you guys helping me to do this project, because this is all entertainment for you guys. Thanks for watching the video. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.